When it comes to you overthinking, you need to be able to distinguish what are your thoughts, what are your feelings versus what has been projected onto you. Just because you grew up in an environment doesn't mean that everything that you witnessed, that you saw, or you heard was for you or is going to resonate with you. When it comes to overthinking, a lot of the times it's based off of projection from people, places, and things that are not in alignment with you or that are trying to distract you or that do not have your best interests. In order for you to know the difference between what's your thoughts, what's your feelings, what's your emotions compared to the things outside of you, is to understand who you are as a person. Now, of course, there's no right or wrong way to do this, so welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance, and this is what you need to know about overthinking. But before we get into the tips and the recommendations for overthinking, these are just some things that you need to keep in mind and friendly reminders. The thing you need to be aware of is that it's not your fault that you're overthinking. If you grew up in a toxic environment, whether it's corrupted, confusion, there was chaos, there was abuse psychologically, emotionally, mentally, physically, or howeverly, or even financially, you only knew what you were taught. You only knew what you were exposed to. Now, of course, this is not to invalidate your experiences. This is not to condone low vibrational frequencies or energies, but it's like, if you were only taught a certain amount of information, why would you challenge what is being exposed to you, especially if it was from your caregivers, your parents, or somebody who had authority or like authoritative figure over your life. Now, this isn't to say that the people in your life intentionally tried to harm you or abuse you, but more than likely it's either projected onto them, so it's a generational curse, a generational cycle, or from them being taught and exposed to certain resources and not unlearning and understanding what is right and what's wrong to them, so they taught it to you. Everybody is taught how to do things, especially newborn children. When you're a baby, you were taught how to talk, you were taught how to walk, you were taught how to speak, you were taught how to do a lot of these things. And as you grow older, once again, if you only know what you've been exposed to, there's not a reason sometimes for you to look outside of it unless there's a form of curiosity or you're supposed to. And if you're coming across this video, you are going to learn how to overcome overthinking. So that's the first thing, is just acknowledging that you were taught what you were informed by your environment. So your resources, your education, where you grew up, geography, like I said, family, friends, or even lovers. And it's not to put the blame on them, but to just help you with your awareness. You see, in order for us to solve problems, we have to go to the root, like what is the cause? So you not being so hard on yourself is the first thing you need to be aware of when it comes to you overthinking. It's not like you woke up one day and was like, oh my gosh, when I grow older, I want to have anxiety, or I always want to be paranoid or in fear. Nobody wants to experience that, even the people who projected that onto you. So the second thing you need to realize is that there's possibilities, and it is optional for you to choose to heal yourself and to overcome your anxiety, your fears, and your doubts, to overcome the overthinking. You have to want to do better in order to feel better. And a lot of people don't take the time to process that information. So the third thing I'm going to let you know before I start recommending the tips for you in this video is that you experience a temporary form of discomfort. And that's a different topic for a different video, for a different day within itself. But you are going to go through withdrawals. When it comes to healing, you are going to unlearn and learn information, and it is going to drive you insane. And the reason why it's driving you insane is because all the information that you were taught, everything that you've seen, even the things that you heard, is no longer going to resonate with you. So when you are releasing and returning all that energy back to where it came from, your higher self and your healed self compared to your lower self and your unhealed self are literally going to have a tango, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the reason why it's a battle is because you are becoming the person who you were meant to be. Everybody in this life has a goal that they're going to achieve. What is their goal? That's between you. And if you believe in a God, ancestors, or universe, that's between them. That's between you. You are going to know what you guys, you heard that? You're going to know what you need to do in this life because it's certain choices that you make. And as you are learning to make wiser choices in life, you're going to reflect on them. The choices that you feel were productive and were good, you're still going to reflect, but it's not going to be as detrimental compared to the choices that you made where you feel like you should have learned from, or you regret, or not wanting to repeat. And that's the same thing when it comes to you overthinking. Some days are going to be easier than others. Some days you're going to feel happy. Some days you're going to feel mad. Some days you may feel crazy. Some days you may feel insane. You're going to experience withdrawals. What are the recommendations? What are you going to do when you experience the withdrawals? How are you going to become more aware to your overthinking? Well, the first thing you need to do is just allow yourself to feel the negative energy. You need to allow yourself to feel the negative mindset. You need to allow yourself to receive the negative projections that were projected onto you. And there's a reason why you have to allow your negative thoughts and emotions and feelings to be what they are, is because you need to validate them. In order for you to understand if these are your thoughts or what somebody else has projected onto you, you have to accept them. So the second recommendation is just anytime you feel any negative energy or any thoughts, say them out loud. So confront them. So if you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so ugly, oh my gosh, I'm so fat, oh my gosh, I'm so this, I'm so that, say it out loud. To be able to distinguish if this is how you genuinely feel, or is this because somebody said something to you or you saw something. So the third recommendation is asking yourself the following questions out loud or in the comment section or whenever you get the chance, which is number one, do you believe what it is that you're saying? Just because somebody told you something doesn't mean it's for you or that it's going to resonate with you. Just because you saw something doesn't mean that you have to experience it or that it is for you. Asking yourself this question out loud, because here's the thing, when it comes to you overthinking, it's literally illusions that you're having in your mind. And this is a mental health channel. We're here to dissect. We're here to break down. We're here to get to the root. We're here to pluck it out with the tweezers. And we're here to come up with solutions. You could be exposed to information and genuinely not believe it, but because you've been accustomed to it, you're not challenging it. You're not taking the time to marinate with it. So when you have these negative thoughts, if you say, I'm fat, say it out loud. But then ask yourself, do you feel that way? And answer it. Come up with an answer. You need to start asking yourself questions and answering them out loud. You need to have a conversation with yourself. You are not psychotic for breaking down how you feel, because that's where the overthinking comes from. Schizophrenic sometimes is projected from overthinking, but that's a different topic. And without getting confusing, answer the question out loud. Do you think it's true? Do you think this is real? And that's the second question you need to ask. There are multiple questions that you can ask, but I'm just giving you guys the following information in this video. Do you believe what it is that you're saying, and do you think it is true? You need to validate your experience, because if you don't think it's true and you know that you don't believe in it, we could start to take a step back and realize, okay, where is this information coming from? And that leads us into the third question. Who said that about you? Who told you that this situation or what it is that you're feeling was true? You have to learn how to challenge what is being exposed to you, included from myself. I'm not excluded. Anything or anybody who has your best interest, of course, you will be able to discern based off of their character, how they carry themselves, their wisdom, their knowledge, experiences, and materials, but the energy. People can say whatever they want to nowadays. It's easy to manipulate people because people are naive, people are uneducated, and people don't know anything. The people that manipulate other people think they're superior. They're really not. They're really losers, okay? I'm not a loser, so I don't need to misinform or mislead people with information that's not for them. But another thing you need to keep in mind is that what's for you is not going to be disconnected. It's not going to make you feel uncomfortable. So if somebody is saying something to you that makes you feel uncomfortable, you need to check within yourself. You need to start asking these people questions, even with myself. People sometimes get mad when you ask them questions, but it's like when you're an honest person, somebody asking you a question is just a question. It shouldn't change who you are. It shouldn't change how you carry yourself. It shouldn't change the way that you think or what you're projecting onto people. So when it comes to you overthinking, the whole purpose of this video is to understand, are these your thoughts? Do you really feel this way? And there's a reason. The more you take the time to answer these questions and spend some time with yourself, which is the fourth thing you're going to do, or the third or fourth thing, because I lost count, I apologize, is take some time with yourself. You being in your isolation period is not for FOMO. It's not to make you feel like you're missing out. It's not to exclude you. It's for you to learn. It's for you to build a relationship with yourself. And once again, if you believe in a God, ancestors, the universe, there are specific instructions and directions, but it's not something that's going to be told to you. You have to feel it. You have to be able to feel what it is that you're doing. That's the purpose of discernment. So when it comes to you overthinking, for example, if you have a goal for yourself, why do you feel like you can't achieve it? Who told you that you were a loser? Who said that you couldn't do anything? And you also have to realize too, if the overthinking is not from projections, there's something that you're dealing with internally. And you're dealing with unhealed and suppressed emotions. So until you, what is the word? Excuse me. Until you unpack, I'm not going to edit this video, the suppressed healing and the emotions, there's something that's triggering you. So if you had a goal to lose weight, but you've never worked out before, you don't know how to lose weight, you don't know what you're supposed to eat, and you don't have the finances to exercise, those could be a lot of the triggering roots on why you feel like it's impossible for you to lose weight. But if you learn how to exercise, you learn how to diet, you find ways to work out, and you get the funds to work out or get equipment or even just going for a walk, if you come up with solutions, you can overcome the problems that you're facing. So to wrap up this video, I need you to start taking time with yourself, and I need you to start answering the following questions that were asked in this video. So make sure you like it, comment, share, let me know what you think. If you guys are interested in more videos like this, drop the word overthink. We need to get to the 500 goal here on YouTube so we can start going live, because I get questions and answers all the time from my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Twitter, as well as my website. All the information will be down in the description below about certain things, and it's easier for me to be live, of course, to answer the questions for you guys. But if you have specific topics or concerns, once again, make sure you guys are engaging with the videos so we can have a better understanding. If not, make sure you're liking it, saving it, favoring it, following us here on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Once again, all the information will be down in the description below. But when it comes to your overthinking, we just need to understand, why are you overthinking? And you have to be honest with yourself. And you have to be willing to know that, okay, once we come up with why we're overthinking, are you going to do the necessary steps that is required of you to change? Are you going to start putting in the work? Are you going to show up for yourself? Because that's what it is. It's not even the fact that you're overthinking. It's the fact that, okay, now that you're aware of what the issue is, what's the solution? And how are you going to handle the solution? Like, you don't have to stay mad and angry and frustrated forever. You constantly have to point fingers at people. You can learn from the choices that you made in your past. You can learn from not having the finances, the resources, the love, the guidance, and the support, and to start applying this information today. So with that being said, it's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance. I love you guys, but most importantly, stay tuned and make sure you guys are liking these videos.